Ah, good morning.
Good morning.
So, continuing now with this journey, finishing up the book of Chronicles from Moses. And you'll say, it's called Numbers. Why are you calling it the book of Chronicles? Because this is a teaching tool. Okay? So, what you will have is one, you have the story. Okay? So, everything from the book of Exodus, Genesis, the early parts of Exodus, this is the story, right? Then, on top of the story, you're going to have a chronicling of the events and the happenings and when they happened and what areas and what locations, right? And where did you journey and how did the journey go? This is the chronicles. So you have the stories, you have like a chronicling, a timeline. Now, Moses's timeline is based on stops and locations.
Yes.
Okay? It's not like the chronicling of Kings. So there was a change in style because they had acquired all of the location. So it transfers from where they went, which was important, to which king was ruling at what time and over what areas.
Right.
All right. So these are the Chronicles. Now, the important part about the Chronicles is when you read about it in the book of Jubilees. Jubilees is a book for you to kind of have a long count. All right. And the reason why you need the long count is so that you can count forwards and backwards very simply. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you need to know what day are we on? Now, when I say day, it's which 1,000-year period?
Right.
There is 0 to 1,000, the first period. Then there's 1,000 to 2,000, the second period.
Wow.
2,000 to 3,000, the third period. 3,000 to 4,000, the fourth period. 4,000 to 5,000, the fifth period. 5,000 to 6,000, the sixth period. So there are 6 periods of time. These are the 6 days. So the book of Jubilees gives you a time witness. It's like a Chronicles. And then it has its stories and it overlaps and bears witness to the other books so that you can have an understanding of time.
Wow.
All right. So what is the time period? Because you said there's already 6 days, 0 to 6,000. This is 6 days. Where are we in the time period? This is why the long count is important. The long count, it can overlap. They could use it for multiple things. It's just a count. However, Moses states something very important. He said it was 49 jubilees from his death to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
This important to know.
Yes.
So if it's 49 jubilees from Adam to Moses, so how many years is that? That is 2,500 years.
Right.
Right? That is 2,500 years, approximately. You say approximately, what's the thing that goes short? Well, it's 49, not 50.
Right.
So it's going to be 2,450 exactly. But it is exactly 50 jubilees now since Moses, which is 2,500 years. So it has been 50 jubilees since Moses unto today. So, Rabbi Sheikh, how do you know this? Time cannot be counted or calculated using the Roman system. It'll drive you insane. They have lied. They have changed years and months and days so as to confuse you. How do I know? It's because the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the condition of the nations, the time of the captivity, everything is now converging upon this one point. It has taken me 8 years to narrow down the point, and I was always looking for the anchor. The anchor is found after you read all of Jubilees and you get to chapter 50. He said there will be only 50 years to learn the law. Well, literally 49.
Right.
Well, what do you mean there's 49 years? He says there's 49 years to come and also 49 years just to learn the law. We have been absent of the law for this whole time. Now we have it restored. And it has taken me the same amount of time that it took Moses from the coming out from Jethro's mountain and the going down to Egypt and to bring them out. It has taken me the exact same amount of time.
Yes.
To get my understanding, to get my walk. So when they came out, right, in the Exodus, when they came out, after that first year, right, and they had all of those issues, the golden calf, Korach, everything else, it was Moses's eighth year.
Yes.
But Ak, you didn't come out with nobody. You right. Everyone was tested to see if they would obey the law and chose not to. They delayed for their reasons and for various points. So now we have no choice but to go through the 40-year process. But that's 48. You still need a year to prepare for the Jubilee. Because when you go into the 49th year, it's a year of rest, and the Jubilee also is another year of rest. So you have to prepare to go into those periods. There is a preparation to go into the years of rest. Like you prepare on day one to go into the Shabbat. If you don't succeed on day one, you're not going to be able to keep the Shabbat. The perpetuals have to be in place. Everything has to be in place to go into the Shabbat.
Yes. So we can't do the Shabbat.
So now you know that the year is 4,958. Exactly.
So the year
And that's from Adam.
is 4,000. Say that number again.
958.
58 from Adam.
And that's from Adam.
Wow.
And you say to me, Rabbi Sheikh, but the first is in Nisan. And you said, because you like to quote me, that Nisan is in the fall. Right. But the beginning of the year for the rest of the earth begin in spring.
In Tishri.
So they're getting ready to begin their 9th year. And I still have 6 more months of completion until we return to our.
Right, because we have a separate time.
Right.
Yeah.
Us as people,
we have
a separate first.
Yes.
But the earth is going to begin its time. And that time will begin here in another, week or so?
Yeah, another week and a half.
Another week, 9 days.
Yeah.
And that's give or take a new moon that's going to come in.
Right.
So the estimation is because the new moon interrupts
Yes.
and pushes on the days. So this is where we are. So we're getting ready to have to do now, preparing for the atonement and for Sukkot and for
trumpets,
right? How do I prepare for it? I obviously can't
do it.
But there's an interesting point and an interesting law that you will see. And that law is you're commanded to keep and appear 3 times a year in the sanctuary. It doesn't say the temple.
No.
It says in the sanctuary. The sanctuary is the safe place, the place of the ensign, which you see here above my shoulder. Right now, the sanctuary is in July. It will remain here, and we will establish a few other sites. The same as Reuben and Gad did with Moses. They took scattered towns and began to grow and prosper for sustainment until they regained the fullness of the land. So here we are doing this very thing here in July, the land of northern Jordan.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Are you going to be obedient? Are you going to be disobedient? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me personally. It is your choice to obey or not obey. I suggest you obey. I suggest you give for the building of the sanctuary, and I suggest you come to the sanctuary. But you won't listen. What is written, you won't. So you will receive that which is coming, and it is coming faster than you will have any ability to make any adjustment by the time you see it. Right? It's like people who try to catch bullets. You know what I'm saying? The bullet come faster than you can see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see that the destruction is aimed at you. You can see that the destruction is loaded and about to destroy, but you hope it misses. Wouldn't you rather be sitting in a different location
Mm-hmm.
and see it coming to someone else rather than where you are?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. So that's the morning talk. All right.
You know, Robert Shake, based off mine, your, and Shaker's conversations on yesterday, I must confess, I still had this mentality of evangelizing, wanting, pleading, inviting people to come. Because in spite of everything, I love my brethren. I don't want to see nobody die. Even though I know that death is imminent. Even though I understand and know that some will die by the sword, some will die with war, some will die famine, pestilence. You know, that's not something I want for someone, you know? And I did a lot of thinking. And you're right. And I appreciate you allowing me to come to this place myself of understanding and recognizing where I was. Because I was, I post and, I would comment on people's comments, inviting them to come and join us and, all these things. But at the end of the day, they ain't coming. And, that's a little hard, to be honest, because these are those who profess that they want to walk in the law, they want to follow the law, they want to do what is right, but deep down, it's just sayings. It's not based off of their actions. It's not what they really want to do, you know? So those days are over for me.
Well,
I'm kind of done.
it's a difficult thing to shake.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That I'm not saying like you haven't done it.
Right.
But it's the thing. This is what I talk about. The actual changes, the actual issues are more smaller
Yes.
than you expect. There is an assumption that every person has the assumption that they are right. Every person has the assumption that they are right. That what they think is right and how they feel is right. I'm telling you, not from my own devising. I'm telling you from
what we've been reading.
From the instruction of the law. I was wrong and I had to change. You are wrong. The levels of which I've had to change are so small, yet detrimentally important. You were taught to evangelize. You taught that.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something alternatively different.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you exactly what the Most High says will happen. Say what the Most High says to say. Invite who the Most High says to invite, and watch you not come.
Yeah.
And then watch you die, and watch those who do scramble to get here, get here, and admit and confess you were right, and I was wrong. The word of the Most High is correct. I have to repent. I have to change. I'll do anything. I know that's what's coming. That's what's written. You see? So it's not a matter of if the children of Israel will make it into the land. It's when.
Yeah.
Because the who are coming don't even know they are the who. Right? They definitely are not going to come and be Christianity. They're definitely not going to be that. Right?
Right.
They're definitely not going to be any religion. Muslim otherwise. Right? When I say Muslim, I mean like of the Islamic faith with bowing to the stone in Mecca. No. No, it won't be that either. And I know there's probably some people who hold, Islam near and dear, but Prophet Muhammad said it.
Yes, he did.
He said, in the end, the Most High is going to change the direction of the prayer. It will change from Mecca back to Jerusalem. He will change it. I can see the turning. Now, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's all right. I'll never go viral. Okay? But in pushing forward, this is par for the course. Knowing the truth. When I say the truth,
I was just thinking about that.
when I say the truth, I mean knowing.
Yes, not because you black, you Israel. That's
No, not
knowing the truth.
Not the knowing that I'm Israel. Knowing that I was Israel, man, that you could have passed by and just told me that.
Yeah.
And I could have been like, yeah, no. That don't mean nothing.
Right.
Knowing what to do.
Yes.
And how to do it. Knowing what was coming. And now knowing what time we're in. And how to operate and function within it. Knowing what to do is heavy. Like that is a burden. And it doesn't matter how you shake it. The only thing you can do to test me to see if I'm lying or not is wait. Right? So you're going to wait for the bombs and the missiles to fall. You're going to wait for the banks to collapse and
chaos. That's what
you're going to wait until you're warring and purging against your neighbors.
Yeah.
And then say, yeah, he was right. He tried to warn us.
Yeah. Because they don't even know that they're already in war.
It's
crazy.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Again, it's the fact that you don't see it.
Yes, because you've been proclaiming it.
You don't see it. It doesn't matter that it's there. You don't see it. Here's the thing. People driving in cars always get hit by something they did not see.
That's true. Yes.
So you're driving a car right now. I see the accident coming. We are past the point of no return. And you have to go through it. Right? You have to get hit. And some of you will come through the other side. You will survive. Some. Now, when I say some, I know you think it's you because you're listening. But the ones who survive will be the ones who do the things of this law, not the ones who heard it.
Yes.
All right. Picking up now from Moses, I think we're in chapter 34.
Yes, sir, we are.
All righty. Moses, chapter 34. And Yahweh spake with Moshe, saying, command the sons of Israel and say to them, when you have entered into the land of Canaan, this shall be the land that shall be divided to you for an inheritance, the land of Canaan by its limits. Okay. This is the land of Canaan by its limits. Your south border shall be from the wilderness of palms by the iron mountain at the confines or the border of Edom, even when the south border at the extremities of the salt sea eastward. Okay? So this is at the extremities of the salt sea. Okay? And you say, what do you mean the extremities of the salt sea? Right? What sea is the salt sea?
Dead Sea.
Mm-mm.
The Dead Sea is not the Salt Sea. Interesting.
And your border shall return from the south. Right? So we're going from the southern border down, and then the border shall turn from the south to the ascent of Akrabit and pass on to the palms of the mountain of iron. And there forth thereof shall be southward of Rechem Gia, and shall go onward to the tower of Adar, and pass over to Kasam. And the border shall wind around from Kasam unto the Nile River of the Mitzrayim. So we are not talking about the Dead Sea. So where's Moses giving this direction from?
It sounds more like, because when it's talking about in the south, is that near where he is now, where Onan and the Saudi Arabia line?
So let's take a perspective here, how Moses is perceiving the area. Okay? You're going to have to change your perspective. Okay? So the south is the mountains of iron, and it says the confines of Edom. Okay? It says there's a sea there, the sea of salt.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And it comes around by the Nile. Okay? So if we start at the salt sea, this is going to be the Red Sea.
Red Sea.
It's salty. So it goes to its lower extremities and comes up the border, and then comes into contact because it's coming up northward. And it says this will come up by the Nile. Right? So this is coming up the Nile, coming up the west. Right? And on this side of the Nile, this will belong to us, even though it belonged to the Canaanites. All right? It goes on up past the Rechem Gia, the Tower of Adar, and to pass over into Kesem. And the border shall wind around from Kesem unto the Nile River of the Mitzrayim, and the outgoing shall be to the west. So Nile River outgoing to the west. Okay? And for the western border, so from the south coming up to the western border, you shall have the great ocean sea. And its limits are the waters of the beginning with the waters of old, which are in its depth, its capes and havens, its creeks, its cities, the islands and ports, its ships, its recesses shall be your border to the westward. This is the Mediterranean. So now it says, this shall be your northern border from the great sea. You shall appoint to you unto Mount Oman.
Wow.
So from this Mediterranean coming up, right, you will appoint and point to Mount Oman, which is, if you look on the map, it's going to be more southeasterly. So you're going to point to Mount Oman. And this northern border, from Mount Oman, you shall appoint to you a line as thou goest up to the entrance of Tebaria or Tabaria, and the outgoings of its borders at its two sides unto Kadkor of Bar Zahama, and to Kadkol of Bar Sinagora, and Divakinos, and Tarnagola, and Kesarim, where thou goest up to Abeles of Sicilia. And the border shall go unto Kerin Zekuta and Gibra Hatmona, and its outgoing shall be at Keria Beth Sekin, and to the midst of the great court, Derela Rabda, which is Meziha, between the towers of Hinveta and Darmashek, which is Damascus. This shall be your northern limit. So now he's drawing a line from Samaria, coming around the Tigris and the Euphrates, down to Damascus.
Whoa.
So from Samaria, following the Tigris and the Euphrates, right, going into the sea of the Persian Gulf, he's drawing a line going around to Damascus. Now you say, what do you mean he's drawing the line this way? This is how he's drawing the line. Because it goes all the way around. Because when you come down the Persian Gulf to Oman, then you will find Mount Oman, the mountains of Oman.
Right.
Mount Ibra, where Moses is buried, is there. So he's drawing a line that comes up around this way.
Yeah, it's going like this. From right to left, not left to right.
Right.
Okay.
That's the northern limit.
Okay.
And you shall appoint for your eastern border from of Hin Vetba unto Apamia, and the border shall descend from Apamia to Dophni, eastward of Hinveta. Thence the border shall go down to the cavern of Penias, and from the cavern of Penias to the mountain of snow, and from the mountain of snow to Hinan, and from Hinan shall the border go down and encompass the plain of the river Arnon and arrive at the wilderness of the palms of the mountain of iron. Take in the waters of contention and rest at Gennesar, a city of the kings of the Edomites. The inheritance of the tribe of Reuben and Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, the border shall descend and encompass the sea of Gennesar to the east. So it goes down Oman and begins to come down to the sea, the Arabian Sea, on the east.
Wow.
Okay? So when you're looking at it, the north, the south, the east, and the west, the land have an irregular shape. Okay? The northern point coming from the north, you have this northern limit of Damascus. You have a southern limit of the mountain of Oman, right? So let's take a look. I'm putting up a map. Okay? And while we're doing this, I'll put up so you can see it as well, what the borders look like. All right, looks like I may have to do this again. But okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this again. All right, let's pull it up on the interwebs right now. This way we can go to maps. All right. Zoom out. Okay. So here you go. Here's Oman. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so this border, right, it's going to go from Damascus All right. I'm trying to get it to draw the little map lines. but it's acting a little weird. All right, so okay, there
There
it
you
is.
go.
So this goes and travels like so. Okay. And it's not 100% accurate because it won't travel through certain countries, but this is the line
So it goes this way.
from this the northern point, this the southern point, right? This is the western point. You see how it comes into the Persian Gulf, right? And this is the other sea where it says now the Gulf of Oman.
And then the Salt Sea.
The Salt Sea is here, what they say the Red Sea, and it comes down and it goes through the Nile River to now the Red Sea. Okay?
This is the Nile. Interesting.
So I'm gonna take a picture of this and you could see the drawing, and I had to start it from Jordan, but it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from
Lebanon and
from Damascus, which is in Syria. Okay?
wow.
All right. So now moving on. So this is the larger portion, and it goes around Oman, comes up, right, and begins to travel back, leaving a portion for Edom. It leaves a portion for Edom. Then it moves into the Red Sea area and comes up into the Nile, into the Sinai Peninsula. Okay? That's the law. All right? That's what the portion looked like.
Right. And this land of Canaan is the land that originally belonged to Shem.
Right. All of it belonged to Shem. Canaan just moved in. Right? And when you're saying like Canaan, right, when you talk about Canaan,
Canaan.
you're really talking about just this northern area.
Yeah, right.
Right? It started here. Like there's a main city. There's a start point. And if you take this is the best point because it's like the hub to connect to everybody else. And that main area, you'll see Beersheba, you'll see the ports in the Mediterranean Sea, you have the connection to the Red Sea. So this area, this main corridor is the hub. This is the most powerful position. All right. So Canaan took that first. You take the most powerful piece and then try to subdue and move into the rest of the region.
So pretty much us receiving the land, getting the land is more of like Yah's redemption.
This is the redemption. The
of Shem.
It's not the redemption like of Shem. This is our redemption.
Yes.
Shem did what he was supposed to do. And Shem gave a portion to Noah. I mean, to Abraham.
Wow.
Abraham, now you have some sons in the land, the Ishmaelites, the Edomites, the Saudis. Now you don't have the sons of Isaac in the land. They're not here.
Right.
In good number.
Right.
Okay? They're here, not in good number. Like, no organization, no group, no substance, no focus. And that's the problem.
Like wild beasts.
Right.
Wow.
So, and Moses commanded the sons of Israel, saying, "This is the land which you are to inherit by lot,
By lot.
which Yah hath commanded to give to the 9 tribes and the half tribe."
Mm. Mm.
Okay? So, again, this is coming up, and it's coming up on the eastern side of Jordan, belonging to the 9 tribes and the half tribe. For the tribe of Reuben, according to their house of their fathers, and the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. Beyond the Jordan, on the eastern side, Yah spake with Moses, saying, "These are the names of the men who shall make to you the inheritance of the land: Eleazar the priest, Joshua bar Nun, and one prince from each of the tribes you shall choose to give the inheritance of the land." So when you talk, I told everybody.
Yes, you have.
So when you're talking about Israel, the real the current state, I told you it was just Jerusalem. Just Jerusalem. Right? It was just, that is just Jerusalem, and it's just for the princes. Right? Judah goes into the Sinai Peninsula area and then southward, you know what I'm saying, on southward of the southern part of Jordan, Aqaba, Madaba, this area here. Judah goes in the south here. And Benjamin also is just above them, connecting and bordering on the land as well. Right? Going out into and around the environs of the mountains of Jordan. So Judah and Benjamin are more on the eastern side.
Right.
Together, and the 9 tribes are on the other side of Jordan. But you're talking about Jerusalem, this is all for the princes. This is why you say, oh, well, this is so and so's, but this is just princes here. One prince from each of the tribes of Judah. Caleb bar Junifer. For Shimeon, Shemuel bar Amihud. Benjamin, Alidad bar Kesilon. Dan, Buki bar Jageli. Yosef, Manasseh, Haniel bar Ephod. Ephraim, Kemuel bar Shiptan. Now you say to yourself, wait a minute. How Joshua, who is of Ephraim, and then Ephraim have a prince? Right? I know you didn't catch it, but let me catch it. Let me catch it for you. So Joshua is king.
Yes.
You can't be king over the 12 tribes and be the head of your tribe.
Right.
This don't work. Someone has to manage the tribe on their land and from just dealing with just that tribe. Because as king, you are dealing with multiple tribal and international issues. You have a different area and sector. Zebulon, Elizaphan bar Parnak, Issachar, Patil bar Aznan, Asur, Abihud bar Shelomi, Naphtali, Pedahail bar Amihud. These are they whom Yah commanded to divide the inheritance of the land of Canaan to the children of Israel. And Yah spake with Moshe in the plains of Moab by Jordan/Jericho, saying, This is a different
Right.
ordinance.
Okay.
Okay?
These names are the families.
That's the families, and these are the 12 princes who reside in the environs of Jerusalem, in the small areas given to them on the other side. That's capital city territory, the capital region. However, their lands are on the other side of Jericho. Of Jordan. So they come around Gilad, around Jordan, and then they take the other side, which is in areas of now possessed by Saudi. And then they come up, leaving a portion for Saudi. I'm not taking Saudi's portion. That was
Right.
appointed to him. Let me
Right.
be clear.
Right.
Right? So Petra, the Jabal Mountains, all that the Most High gave to them, going down to the sea and to the Red Sea, this belonged to them.
Right.
I ain't got no say. No, I don't say nothing about it. Okay? Our border, you'll know it. It come up. It says we skipped over Saudi because it come up to Jabal Laws and goes back out to the Red Sea.
Yes.
Then over to the Nile River. I'm not telling no lies and no stories. This is what it is. I have no say about it. Don't matter how I feel. It don't matter how you feel. How feelings don't count right now.
That's
This the law, and I'm telling you what it is. That's the difference between me and every other teacher. They want to teach you based upon the fear of how somebody else might feel if the truth come out. I don't care. Why? Because it's not like I'm literally going to get up and take up arms and make war for it. That's not the instruction.
No. And that's really what a lot of our people want. They want to fight. They want a war. They want.
Well, you're going to get the war, but I'm just promise you it's not what you think it is.
Right.
It's not going to be how you expect it. So you're going to get the war. I'm just telling you this will be the outcome. You're going to lose a lot of people, and you're going to mourn and cry for your sons. You're going to cry for your husbands. You're not going to have husbands, right? And the few husbands that do come, you're going to have to sit here and purge from the filth, like Isaiah said, until you can resolve on how to work as a family unit with multiple wives. I'm not saying that. The script says that. Now, if you don't like that idea, I'm quite sure you'll stay where you are until you see what I say is coming and you get what you got coming. And you're going to get it. So now, revolving and spinning the block back around for to what you were saying about evangelizing, this is why you don't do it. This is why I say there's no evangelizing here. I'm informing openly, and I don't expect nothing from you. I expect what you have been absolutely been taught, which is wickedness. So I expect you to drum up your own ideas. I expect you to walk in your own way, and I expect you to get what you got coming. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Roll with all the other camps. You can tell they false teachers because they have the resources and the means to do that which is lawful and right and move and establish this, and they won't. Well, who you? I'll show you. I'll show you better than I could tell all of you. I'm going to sit here and do what the Most High says without you.
Right.
And then show you whose ways are wrong.
Yeah.
Some of them have these books and they teach little lessons, but they keep wanting to hold on to the New Testament lie. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're being paid to do that.
How did you think the 450 prophets of Baal,
Right.
how do you think they looked? They looked exactly like so they looked exactly like every last one of you camps. Every last one of you in Christianity or any other religion. You take the law, you mingle it with this to make it more similar to the beliefs of the nations that you were in. Because the 450 prophets of Baal lived in Babel. That's exactly what they did. So now you're doing it too. Well, you're going to get everything you got coming. And you deserve it. And you deserve to see all the destruction that's coming
Yes.
around you and to you. You have earned it. Why? Because I looked at it from the Most High's perspective, from these books. He's 100% right. I've had to change. So I took those steps. And now you're going to do it, or you're going to die. And I promise you, most of you will die. And as you start dying, because some of you can't even get back, you've gone too far. But don't worry, when the Most High brings down all these nations, he will utterly destroy our nation except the remnant. But everybody think they part of the remnant. So we're going to find out if everybody is part of the remnant, or is the remnant made up of something else. Right? Even being with me don't make you part of the remnant.
That's right.
There is a genuine change that has to take place in you. Right? We have to do everything that is written to rebuild from the destruction. Well, enjoy the destruction. One day at a time, one step at a time.
Yes.
All right. See you after this.